Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order, and we're on the Clone Wars comic digest series, volumes 3 and 4 here. I need to make a correction. In volume 2, that was not General Grievous who ran away. I looked it up as someone else, just some separatist general. But General Grievous is in the third book. You don't know at first, but someone is knocking the crap out of Dirge and Ventress. They know someone's here, they just can't find him. And it's Grievous, and Grievous basically defeats both of them and knocks them both out. And it's basically building the menace that is General Grievous, because we know he's in episode 3. He hasn't been shown yet, but he's awesome at everything he does. This was back before Filoni turned him into a joke. He used to be a really threatening looking villain here. And so he brings both of their unconscious bodies to Dooku and says, "See?" He said, "Excellent. Your training is now complete. Well, welcome to the fold, General." So this is kind of how he gets his ranking. Also in the third one, the next story, this is where they started putting four stories in a book instead of just 3, because they couldn't come. I guess the stories got shorter. But the clones, a bunch of clones, go on a mission to retrieve something of utmost importance, and it turns out to be just a little knick-knack that Counselor Palpatine had. And they were retrieving the knick-knack. He goes, "Thank you." And basically says, "Here, put this with my other stuff." And there's like this big, long shelf with the same type of boxes of gifts from him. So it wasn't that important a mission. It's almost like to kind of tell you that Palpatine is just he doesn't think much of the clones. He's sending them on missions where they could die for, menial tasks. The next one, Yoda is in it. This is a great one. Yoda he's carrying this big old wooden carton over. I mean, it's 10 times, 20 times the size of him, and he slams it down in the middle of the street, and everyone laughs at him because he's little. And then some guy, he goes to the bar, points at a bottle, and points it here, and someone gives him a glass. I don't know, maybe Yoda's drinking whiskey now. And the guy at the bar goes, "Hey, don't take it too hard." He said they laugh at me too because I look a little different too. Small people you get looked down on in this town. And then out of nowhere, here come the separatists. They're about to invade the town. The town's crying. "Oh no, what do we do?" And I guess Yoda finishes his drink, goes out there, punches something on the crate, and suddenly the crate opens up and there's this big, huge gun. And all the separatists go, "Huh?" And Yoda flips onto the gun. I mean, it's this huge Gatling gun. He just starts killing them all. And they're all droids, but the last guy is not a droid. He's in kind of like a tank, a one-man little tank, like a little, almost like a Segway built around his body. And Yoda comes and slashes through his little Segway, and it kind of opens it up. He's like, "Oh," and then he runs. And then everyone goes, "Whoa," everyone's mouth's open as Yoda wraps back up the box, throws it over his shoulders. This thing is huge, and then carries it off. And that's the end. I love that one. The next one and the last one here in volume 3 is Plo Koon. He basically assists the clones. He just comes out of nowhere and just starts, just going awesome. This is what the books are about, is this awesome action that you saw from the cartoon series. And that's basically all it is. Just the clones are in trouble until Plo Koon comes and boom, just tears through it. It's almost like, man, the Jedi can be really dangerous if they need to. They don't even need the clones. Sometimes they don't. Volume 4 starts off with an R2-D2 C-3PO one, where R2-D2 has somehow lost his head from his body, and his head's talking, and 3PO is trying to grab them both and put them together. But through this adventure, they actually take out an entire clone army, like destroy them by accident. They land on, kill a few, then they cause a ruckus, and the clones are shooting everywhere, and they shoot each other, and they all die. And you're like, oh no, what is going? And these clones are kind of stupid too. Like one of them goes, "Hey Sarge, it's really hot in these suits." He went, "Well, did you turn on the air filter in your helmet?" He went, "We got an air filter in our helmet." And he goes, "Hey guys, we got an air filter in our helmets." And he goes, "Oh, a bunch of morons." And I'm thinking, hey, they are a bunch of morons. And so they kind of panic too. Well, it turns out they're all fakes. It's a fake army. They stole the clone armor or killed the clones and took the clone armor, and they were going to give the Republic a bad name by attacking the town, so that town would, or that planet would go over to the Separatists. But C-3PO and R2-D2 foiled that job in classic Droids, humor and style that they did that. That was a fun one. Now, these next ones, Anakin is a Jedi Knight. And I didn't realize that there were Jedi Knight stories. It makes sense because at the end of the series, he becomes a Jedi Knight instead of a Jedi Padawan. So because of that, these books I'm going to have to push way out there on the timeline, like at least past the Seth's Deception, because I know in that book, Anakin was still a Padawan. So because of that, I'm going to move this whole series somewhere on the timeline. By the time this video comes out, we'll already have it moved to my timeline online, but I'm going to have to move it past that way because there is some Anakin as a Jedi Knight here. The first one, he basically saves a Jedi Knight from these techno-mites. They look like little sea urchins or whatever, but with metal plates as a shell. And when they form together, they can supposedly form anything, but they form these metal spiders that Anakin has to fight off with the other Jedi. And it's just a little adventure there. There's another great one. The kids, and these are after Episode 3, so I don't think these should be in a book called Clone Wars, because the Clone Wars has ended at this point, and now you're just telling extra Episode 3 stories. But Episode 3 had obviously come out by the time these were out, and they wanted to do some Episode 3 stories. What I'm talking about is, there's this kid, he's afraid of the clones, but the clone goes, don't worry, we're the good guys, we're here to help you. And then when they hear the wars ended, they all celebrate, and he's celebrating with them. And, excuse me, then they get the order and say, wait a minute, Order 66, and they turn around and they kill the Jedi who's with them. And the kid's like, and then they're like, yeah, remember kid, we're on your side, we're here to help you. And he's like, no, they're the enemy, they killed the Jedi. It's a really good story. Finally, this is another one that happens during Order 66. As the clones invade Kashyyyk, or that battle is going on, the clones have turned now on the Jedi, and they're also killing Wookiees now. Some Wookiees go into the depths of the planet, which is very dangerous. They lead clones down there, and a lot of them perish. And when they finally break out from the underbrush, like, we're safe. And that's when the Wookiees attack. So basically, it's just the Wookiees whooping up on some clones, some bad guy clones now, after Episode 3. But again, I don't know if those type of stories should be put in a book that's titled Clone Wars. All right, I'll talk about 2 more volumes next time.